Hello, I'm here to show you a database that will work with innate estimate for general contracting GC type work. When you start out with innate, here is your starting point. You need to build on top of this all of the information that you would like to work with. In our GC database, we have a lot of that information already pre-built. Here is the database. I'm looking at it in edit mode, basically. And we can look at and see the depth of the database and all of the information that you can see. You can look down here and see that there's 1,200. There's in excess of 1,200 assemblies. But don't let that number fool you. There's a lot more detail than 1,200. For example, let's look at general conditions for a small sample here. If I open up general conditions, there are some subgroups beneath the group for general conditions. If I open up this subgroup for project management, you can see we have all of these assemblies. So these are the actual assemblies. I have a line for project management. I can open up this line and you can see that there's numerous lines here for different types of project management personnel that you would like to have on it, that you may want to have on a project. And they're all taken off by weeks. And there are formulas that will apply all of these values based upon what you want for a job. So let's look at how this would work. This one assembly right here. I will go over here to the CBS and let's do a takeoff of that project management assembly. So I am opening up the register of all of the assemblies. We'll go to general conditions. We'll open up general conditions to the project and field management, and we will come to the assembly for project management. The assembly comes in, and we have these inputs to do our takeoff for this assembly. So I can come down here and start reading these values and answering these questions. A corporate VP, we would like him to be on the job to be paid for 2 weeks. Construction manager, 6 weeks. Project manager, a year-long job, 52 weeks. An assistant PM, we'll have him for 52 weeks also. A project engineer, 36 weeks. There's more questions to ask here, but I've shown you the point. And I will click OK here, and you can see that the VP, the construction manager, the project manager, the assistant PM, and the project engineer all came in with their time frames. And the other line items that I did not want to have stayed behind. Now, there are many assemblies that you can go look at to be taken work off. Some are short and simple, like this one right here, or others are more complex. So for example, I can go into finishes and come down to detailed drywall, and here are some drywall assemblies. I would like to take off some 3 5/8 metal studs in detail. Detail meaning I would like to know a lot of specific information about this takeoff. Here is our input area that we would have. And now I can go down through and start answering the questions. We have a wall and the length will be 95 feet. The wall stud height will be 9 foot. The number of jack studs for openings, we'll say there's 3 jack stud openings that we need to put jack studs on the ends of the openings. Stud space in inches on center, pre-filled to 16, the normal that you would see. Number of gypsum wallboard layers, 1 to 4. I'm going to say we would like 3 layers of drywall. And so now the question is, what is my gypsum wallboard height on layer 1? I'll say that goes up to 9 foot, and the gypsum wallboard height on layer 2 goes up to 9 foot, but on layer 3, it goes up to 8 foot. So you can see how I'm inputting the height of the drywall for all of the sides. I would like to know the fire taping height for side 1 and side 2. I'll say there's a couple feet for fire taping on both sides. Insulation height in linear foot, you can leave this at 0 or if you have insulation on the inside, you can fill that in. Here's the gypsum wallboard layer for the 3 sides that we would have. If I come back up to here and I change the layers from 3 to 2, notice that it is changed here to 2 layers. If I come back up and say it will be 3 layers again, it will bring back in that 3rd layer that we would like to have. So I can drop this here. Here are the layers right there. The layers will pre-fill to Type X firewall 5/8 inch. Now on the 3rd layer, I'm going to change that. So I click on this line right here. There's these 3 dots, and I'll pick those 3 dots. And here are all of the specs of drywall that you can choose from. The 5/8, the most common, are at the top. And I will say we would like some abuse-resistant board on one of the sides. I click that and choose it, and this will change to an abuse-resistant board. And you can see down here that it's changed to that board. Now we have more questions to answer about the track gauge and the stud gauge. They're preset to 18 and 20 and 20, but you can, once again, click on the edge here and change any one of them that you would like to have. When you're all done, you click OK, and this information comes into your estimate, and you can continue on with your takeoff. We'll do one more takeoff of a short subject. So I will come back in, right-click, tell it I would like to insert, and I will work my way down to specialties and toilet partitions right here. This is a short little assembly, but it shows you the power of how assemblies can work. Here are the questions. What does my toilet partition support? And it says we can have toilet partitions that are floor set, wall set, or ceiling set. It's pre-filled to floor set, but I will change this to wall set and click OK. Notice here that it's changed the partitions to wall set that we would like to have. What is our toilet partition material? We have a list here: metal, plastic, plastic laminate, porcelain, enamel, stainless, phenolic resin, fiberglass, marble, granite, or other material. I'll say we will have stainless. So now it's picked stainless. So now I have my takeoff done. But if I come back up to here and say that it is ceiling hung, notice that a new line has come into the assembly. The assembly knows that if we have ceiling hung, we're going to need support steel. And so it brings in the line item for support steel here. It says we have 1 each, but if I change the quantity to 5, it will put in 5 each for all of these. I click OK, and we continue on with going through the assemblies to take off the values that we would like to have for this project. Now, there are many assemblies for many subjects that are in this database. There is a complete concrete section. There is actually a separate video on concrete, but there's numerous assemblies for concrete that you can have to choose here. There are assemblies for existing conditions. There are assemblies for metals to take off various types of structural metals, along with metal fabrications. Carpentry. If I open up any of these, there are numerous assemblies beneath each and every one of these sub-assembly sections. Specialties. Finishers. Numerous assemblies on finishes, as we've already seen. There's assemblies for plumbing, fire suppression, HVAC. These are basically for subcontractors. There's assemblies for earthwork, exterior utilities, exterior improvements, and utilities. There will be increasingly more and more assemblies as we keep on building these assemblies. You purchase the database, you will get the additional assemblies year by year as we bring them in. For the first 18 months or so from now on, we will probably be putting out releases every 3 months as we build new assemblies. I thank you for your time to look at this database. If you would like to contact us, the contact information is here for you to see. We will be glad to give you a more detailed review of the database, answer any questions you have. If you would like to have data that is built specifically for you, we also offer those services. Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate your review of this database. Thank you. Bye.